DBJ here, and as the title's going to show, this is kind of my way of thinking about something a little deeper, because I've done a couple of cinematic role-playing videos, and I've seen other videos out there. I'll try to post links below. And it got me thinking about something, and the question is, why bother describing anything in combat? You know, it's the, I rolled a 13, I do 6 points of damage. And the DM goes, okay, you've done 6 points of damage. He's, you can tell he's down to about half his hit points. What do you do? Okay, let's roll initiative. You know, but it got me thinking, like, why, if you're not getting anything out of it, meaning like you're not getting any bonuses, you're not getting any numerical value out of doing combat description and skill descriptions, then why bother doing it? You know, what would be the point? Well, I do have an answer for that, and it's manyfold. The first one is about bennies. A lot of games out, and of course 5th edition decided to absorb this as well, is the idea that the more invested you are into the game and what's going on, you get a benny for it, a benefit. You receive some kind of numerical or rule system bonus based on doing something that is not part of a particular rule system, meaning like you're describing how your character is dodging to the side. You're talking about how your character is fencing or using their katana or their longsword, or sword fighting or blocking and parrying and all these different descriptions. And so you get a bonus on it. So then it got me thinking, okay, you have bennies, right? And whatever, Sophie. So what other reason, like, what if you're playing a game and it doesn't have a benefit procedure in it, then why bother making descriptions in the first place? Well, other than bennies, another reason is memories. Okay, Lord of the Rings. You start picking the scenes, your favorite scenes. Let me pick one. Boromir getting shot in the chest multiple times by Uruk-hai arrows. All right, let's see. Does anybody remember what he rolled on the 20-sided? Anybody remember how many hit points he had? No, nobody knows that. And frankly, no one cares. And the reason why no one knows what level character he was and whether he made a 5-foot step and what his feats were and how many hit points he had and, hey, did he have advantage or disadvantage or some crap like that. The reason why it was exciting was because it was descriptive. And you remember it because you can describe it to others. And you have a synergy with someone else who also saw the movie and goes, wow, I remember that scene. Well, at the table, if you're doing theater of the mind, well, how do you do that? Well, you describe what's going on. So it's memories. The other thing is, the word that I mentioned is synergy. And you want synergy at your table because as the game master, if you're just a spectator, you're not adding anything. And all the energy is being used by the game master, and they're being forced to have to entertain you. And that is not what role-playing is. It's a collaborative effort. So if you add energy to the table and your energy is there, and you're into it, you're describing what your character's doing, good or bad, you're into the descriptive flavor of it, you don't have to be long-winded on it, but you want to add energy to the table. Because if you add energy, you're going to give something to the game master and the other players, which brings me to my last point, which is our creative ideas. And if you're just going by numbers, I rolled a 13, I do 6 points of damage. Okay, the creature is probably at half hit points. Well, you are not adding anything in terms of creative value to the scene, because I know as game masters love information about your character, about how they feel, what's going on, what their motivations are, what they think they see, what they encounter, whether they're scared, whether they're pissed off, all those things. And sometimes it makes a spark in our head. You're a game master, you go, whoa, wait a minute. That's a good idea. Especially when players are getting together and they're talking about the big baddie, and one of the players goes, I bet the handmaiden really isn't a handmaiden. I bet she's really the main bad guy. She's just behind the scenes controlling the pit fiend. And the game master's like, well, I didn't think about that one. That's a good idea. You know, or the players are fighting off a horde of orcs, and someone's like, well, we better get out of here before they summon reinforcements. And the game master's like, well, I wasn't thinking about bringing reinforcements, but that's a good idea. You know, sometimes the players will actually come up with your ideas for you just from them speculating, from them talking, from them interacting, from just role-playing amongst themselves. So why bother with description? It's all that stuff. It's a benefit, synergy, creative ideas, and you want to throw that all on the table. So anyway, it's DBJ. Want to give you a rant, give you some creative ideas, nothing destructive. You know who I am. Have a good one. Bye.